Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw review for August 8th, 2016. And what the fuck was this last night? Like, this was a complete waste of everybody's time. What is with these 3-hour episodes? Why do they keep giving us 3 hours worth of content that don't even feel all that important? I mean, seriously. By the way, guys, I'd like to apologize for my tardiness of doing this video. It did take me a little while to get on here. I do apologize about that. So all the people I did invite to watch this video, I hope tune in soon, or at least catch it after it's done being recorded. But with all that being said, this show was a complete disaster from the beginning. We got a talk show deal going on with Chris Jericho and Enzo Amore. We got all kinds of insane, crazy bullshit going on here with this fucking program. What I can't believe is how I actually sat through these 3 hours of torture. I mean, what do these people got? Vietnamese creative team where they go, okay, let's figure out a way to torture these people for 3 hours to make them absolutely fucking miserable. You know what I mean? So, let's just get things started. I'll stop, as I already said. Chris Jericho kind of goes ahead and has a ongoing verbal confrontation with Enzo Amore. It was good. I mean, I'll give it that. Chris Jericho had some good jabs he threw in there, better than what he has been doing over the last couple of weeks. It's been kind of bland and boring in my opinion, but it wasn't all that bad. I actually enjoyed watching it, so there wasn't nothing bad about the opening promo. Then we get a one-on-one match with Chris Jericho and Enzo Amore, one-on-one, and Chris Jericho ends up picking up the victory thanks to Owens' distraction, or actually caused a DQ, and Jericho wins the match, by the way. After the match is over, we get an announcement that Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens will be facing Enzo Amore, Enzo Amore and Colin Cass in a tag team match at SummerSlam. Now, my one question to all of you is what the fuck does this gain? I understand that there was some sort of disagreement, there was a grudge built here, but Enzo Amore and Colin Cass actually had momentum going towards the SummerSlam pay-per-view after they won their match with John Cena against the Club. Instead of the Club that lost the 6-man tag team match, title shots, which actually is later on announced on this episode. This is all. Apparently, if you lose a match in this dumb company, you get rewarded for getting title shots. Gee, why didn't they make Roman Reigns lose more? We would have at least got to see him lose instead of win all the time. But it was very fucking retarded what they're doing here. It makes no sense. I mean, the match itself is a pretty good deal on paper, but I mean, really, is it necessary? Is there a point to it? None. It's just a pointless grudge between Enzo Amore and Colin, and between the two of them, and Kevin Owens and Big Cass happen to be dragged into it. Why Kevin Owens started becoming friends with Chris Jericho? I have no fucking idea. The first one, they were being tag teamed together in July with random matches. They were bickering and arguing all the way through. What's going to be any different at this SummerSlam pay-per-view? Fucking retarded bullshit, if you ask me. But whatever. Jericho and Enzo Amore was a decent match, though, overall, so I can't bitch and complain about that, but the logic behind putting this together doesn't make a whole lot of sense, nor does it bring out a whole lot of excitement or hype to me. Braun Strowman had a match with some random dude and beat the fuck out of him. Who cares? Puff Daddy was backstage. Who the fuck cares about Puff Daddy and the New Day talking and bullshit? Whatever. That was pointless. So, total right there of about 4 to 5 minutes of complete, utter boredom. Great. Wonderful. Good job, WWE. You're doing great with this fucking episode. Darren Young versus Titus Hill. Why the fuck am I seeing this again? There is no point. What makes the matter even worse is Darren Young wins the match by grabbing the tights, and the reason why he grabbed the tights was because Bob Backlund, his manager, is staring at the crowd instead of staring in the ring to see what's going on in the match. I guess apparently Bob Backlund's way of teaching is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, so hey, you cheated, I'll cheat on you in the next match. And Bob Backlund, I guess, turned his back so he pretended like he didn't see it. I have no fucking idea. Completely and utterly stupid. Waste of 2 minutes of my fucking time once again. Boy, this episode just kept going downhill after the first segment was over with. We had Seth Rollins come out. Cut some pretty damn good promo, except talking about the meaning behind the name Finn Balor. He announces that Finn Balor wasn't his original name before he came to the WWE. He was under a different name in New Japan Wrestling. And he starts going through some sort of origin story about the name of how it came about and what basically Finn Balor's whole making to why he's called Finn Balor. Like, why the fuck do I care? You're going through an origin story about some fucking load of crap about mythical Greek garbage or whatever the fuck it's related to that makes absolutely no sense and has no purpose on a fucking wrestling show. This is idiotic. Seth Rollins goes on to say that why doesn't he just name himself Rambo Apocalypse? What the Come on, man. Like, okay, majority of it, I won't say was bad, but some of it, just when he started talking about the origin of the name of Finn Balor and joking around saying, why don't I call myself Rambo Apocalypse, was so stupid and unnecessary. It was ridiculous what this portion of the show with Finn Balor and Seth Rollins to help build them with this match at this point should have been some small brawl with each other. That's really what should have happened. Or they should have gotten even closer to each other's faces, looking like they were getting ready to snap and explode on one another. Something of that nature. And I guess the next week after that, we could just see them going an all-out assault on each other, and then they have security trying to separate the two, and they just can't get them off of each other. Something like in that kind of sense. But this was ridiculous. Later on in the show, we get the explanation again. What the fuck the damn thing is about Finn Balor and all that. I don't care how you came up with Finn Balor's fucking name. I don't give a rat's ass. It has no point being on the show. It has no reasoning. It's talking about methodical bullshit. Who cares? This is a wrestling program, not a fucking history or Discovery Channel, okay? Get the fuck out of here with this crap. Alright, next match we have is Sheamus and Cesaro. Why am I seeing this again? What the fuck is this crap? Apparently, I guess Cesaro didn't prove himself enough to Mick Foley against Sheamus last week, so he has to face him again and wins the match by a roll-up pin and gets the victory. The match was pretty okay. It wasn't the greatest. Their first encounter last week was actually better than this one, so that being just... It was fucking retarded. This whole episode was just a complete and utter disaster and a mess. So, I don't know what the fuck that was about. And just to skip ahead, it relates to Cesaro. The guy was granted an opportunity if he beats Sheamus or Sheamus beat him last week that they get a future title shot for a world championship belt. That's what I was technically hearing. Then he's challenging Rusev for the fucking United States Championship. A title he won in the past, held it for about, I think, 6 months to almost a year, and had a decent title run. Who the hell cares about him being U.S. champion anymore? It don't matter. What should matter is this guy should be getting a world championship title shot. He doesn't have to win it. Just give him something different to work on and work with upper level talent. This guy is a talented guy and a very strong, natural, gifted guy. And all he's doing is working with mid-card garbage with mid-card titles. Who gives a shit about him doing that? I'd rather see him in the world title scene. Even if he ain't winning the title, just give him a title shot, for God's sakes. At least it would be a little bit more exciting and maybe even shock some people. Have him win the fucking belt for all we care. I mean, Jesus Christ. What a fucking piece of shit match that was. I really did not care to watch that. I mean, Sheamus and Cesaro, they're okay. Cesaro deserves better than this, and pretty much Daniel Bryan announced that when he came out, which I'll get into and rant about a little bit soon. There was a video package for Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, the best thing on the whole fucking episode. Great video package. Brock Lesnar's cussing like a drunken sailor. Randy Orton saying his piece. They go into a history of each other. Now, this is a good thing to talk about an origin. You want an origin story, a beginning to what all this brought on, why this was brought about. I mean, that is how you do it. Two guys that were in a pack of fully talented wrestlers back in the day in OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling. And these two guys developed into great stars, and yet throughout all this time, this is the first time they're ever going to be able to face each other. And that's why this match was booked. Pure at a competition, that's it. No funny business about an origin story of some bullshit crap where you're talking about this and that and all this random bullcrap that don't mean nothing. But this with Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar was well put together. Great all around scenario. And they put a very interesting metaphor on Orton and Brock Lesnar. Orton being a surfer, he goes in waves. And that's how Randy Orton really, his career has been. It's been in waves. He's had his ups, he's had his downs, he's been up and down throughout his whole entire career. Never always been at the top. Has been at the top several times, though, in his career. 12-time world champion. Went down to the bottom, too. So, and then Brock Lesnar being the kind of competitor he is, even though right now I'm not impressed with Brock Lesnar at all. I hope he actually loses this match, despite his gimmick and whole great build-up of his character. He's a scumbag for using PEDs for a UFC fight that he pretty much had nailed in the bag to begin with. He was just too much of a chicken shit to not have to take PEDs to begin with. So whatever on that. So I liked it. I thought it was cool. Basically, Lesnar is the shark, gonna eat Orton alive. But I hope Randy Orton walks away with the W against Brock at SummerSlam at this point. Dudley Boys versus Neville and Sin Cara. Really? Neville deserves a place on this show. Sin Cara, really? Like, you couldn't pick up Sami Zayn as one of the people on the show? I mean, as his tag team partner? I mean, you got a fucking pointless tag team like the Dudley Boys who should be being placed in a great spot within the company. Their big name, well established, could be used to help promote younger talent and still give them W's here and there so that they could still keep them around and make them still feel important. Yet, you make them lose most of the time, number one, and number two, they do nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. They haven't been on a fucking pay-per-view, a main card pay-per-view, may I add, not the pre-show crap. I can't stomach that shit. I don't even count it for anything. So the Dudley Boys, they lose to Neville and Sin Cara. Neville picks up the victory with a Red Arrow finisher, and that's the end of that. Big fucking whoop-de-doo. These matches were complete and utter garbage. I fucking hated it. Rusev and Lana. Oh, God, this in-ring segment made me want to fucking puke, man. This was fucking garbage. What the hell am I wasting my time watching Rusev and Lana discuss about their fucking post-marriage wedding that they had? Who cares? I don't give a shit if Rusev got a 10-inch dick and started making porno films with Lana. I don't give a shit. I really don't, and I didn't care about this segment. To make matters worse, we have Roman Reigns come out. About the only thing Roman Reigns could stop a horrible fucking segment like this crap and just make it even worse. He goes ahead and he fucking gets Lana thrown through fucking cake. She's covered in frosting. She's screaming her high out like crazy. And she hates fucking Roman Reigns, saying she hates him. And Rusev challenges freaking Roman Reigns with his U.S. title on the line. Whoop the fucky do? Like, what do I give a shit? Why would anyone else care except for all the big Roman Reigns fans that go crazy over him now that he's being pushed down to mid-card hell? Pretty much that's where he's best suited at this point until he can build himself back up or gain some sort of popularity with the crowd being whatever the fuck he may be. Nor do I really give a rat's ass about any of this. So, moving on. Shit. Sasha Banks versus Dana Brooke. Basically, this scenario was if Dana Brooke won, she would be in Charlotte's corner to do a handicap match for Sasha Banks' Women's Championship. Sasha Banks wins. It's just a one-on-one match with Charlotte, and Dana Brooks is completely banned from ringside. Why couldn't you make this any better? Like, put a fucking steel cage around the damn ring and put some meaning back into a steel cage match where it actually keeps outside interference away from the ring. Please, do that. I think the fans would appreciate seeing two great women wrestlers compete in such a hardcore extreme match like the steel cage and see women do some physicality to one another. Show these women have some fucking balls instead of these weak-ass just one-on-one matches. The match itself between Sasha Banks and Dana Brooke was crap. I hated it. It was weak-ass ending. Again, every fucking match on this card was weak. I couldn't stomach it. Finn Balor's video package, The Demon, will be at SummerSlam. Good for you. You're going to come being the Demon. I don't care. I think it's an awesome character you got. It's like you got a split personality. Wonderful. Did I care to watch this video package about the whole beginning and reasoning behind the name Finn Balor? Absolutely not. As I already said earlier in this video, this is retarded. I am not watching the History Channel or fucking Discovery Channel. I am watching the USA Network to watch professional wrestling. If you got nothing to discuss that involves professional wrestling or a sporting-like type feeling authenticity to it, I don't give a shit what the fuck you have to say about your name, how you built it, or anything else in between. It blows, okay? Waste of everybody's fucking time. Helps no way in building the match between the two guys in this fucking scripted match. None. Complete utter crap. Sorry. the demon thing with that's cool. I think it's great. Who Finn Balor is, it's a great split personality, alter ego. That's wonderful. Jeff Hardy has the character he has in fucking not WCW, TNA. All that being said, at least it is fucking, it's his alter ego. I get it. It's fine. But you don't have to go into explaining why you're named Finn Balor. I don't care. I don't care. Nor do I think too many people would have died without knowing the real meaning behind the name Finn Balor. I think it's utterly retarded. Utterly retarded, whatever the fuck I was going to say. I can't even talk properly right now. But anyway, moving on with this bullshit. Anderson and Gallows are dressed up as doctors, pretty much trying to make fun of the New Day with fucking Big E Langston. They last week grabbed both of his legs, pulled him real hard, and he smacked his groin area into the ring post, and they called it ring postitis. Now, do I have really anything bad to say about this? Not really. I thought it was funny, but it was also childish. I mean, these are two guys that were conquering the New Japan Wrestling and breaking people in pieces, and we got them talking, goofing off, and acting like retards. These guys were funny, but to be quite honest, they need to be doing. They do great with serious roles. I don't like this whole gimmick, or not gimmick, comedic storyline they did. It doesn't seem like them. Yeah, they passed it well as a comedic segment. They did a decent job, but I just don't buy it as them being funny. I don't see them as comedic guys. I see them as downright, I'll kick your ass kind of group. And that's how they should be portrayed on television altogether. But not bad. I think it was an okay, funny little segment. Gallows beat the shit out of Kofi Kingston, and it was a quick match, and that was it. So, and it's just basically stating that Michael Cole actually mentioned the Demolition having the World Tag Team titles record during this too, which I have no idea why they would change, separate World Tag Team title from WWE Tag Team titles. I don't think there's really a difference. I think if you went into the WWE Tag Team title history on WWE.com, it would show Demolition on the fucking list of guys that were the tag team champions. So that makes no fucking utter sense to me. But whatever. Vince McMahon doesn't have to make sense. That's why he's old and decrepit. Anyway, moving into other things, we have an in-ring segment with Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan. Pretty much overall, I fell asleep during this point when they started talking and bickering, but I watched JD from New York's 206 review, and he said that they were just sitting there kissing each other's ass in the middle of the ring, telling each other how this one was doing a great job and that one was doing this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm hearing them say that. I'm just like, really? That's what happened? Oh, my God. Am I glad I fell asleep through that? So Rusev comes out, says that he would crush Daniel Bryan, standing up for Foley, saying he's being a great manager and so forth. Cesaro comes out. I pretty much told you what happened there. He asks for a title shot, and Mick Foley gives him a title shot for the U.S. Championship. The match itself between Rusev and Cesaro for the United States title sucked. Cesaro should have walked away as the new United States champion, leaving Rusev and Roman Reigns as just a grudge match. Nothing more, nothing less. Cesaro should have just walked away with this U.S. title. If you're going to give him a title shot against Rusev, give him the fucking belt. I mean, you're not going to give him a world title match where he loses. At least let him win against a guy like Rusev with the U.S. Championship. You can give the already. As I already mentioned, Daniel Bryan goes ahead and he mentions about how Cesaro's being underutilized at Raw and that he should be in on SmackDown and blah blah blah. And that was pretty much it. So with that being said, and I finally finished this entire crapamania bullshit piece of crap, 3 hours of garbage that you could forget in the back of your mind and flush it down the toilet if you had one in your brain. But metaphorically, we can just flush this one down the drain and forget it ever happened because it was a complete waste of everyone's time. Go on NoDQ.com and go ahead and go on their survey poll site portion where you vote for how we're all. There is about 60% of people that say that this show sucked cock out of probably only 400 people. So that's a pretty good majority of people that did not like this episode whatsoever. And nor did I. So please, leave your comments and opinions down below. I'd definitely like to hear back from you guys. As always, I'll always get back to you too. Hit that subscribe button. And if you like the video, leave the thumbs up. And have a great night. I'll be back for a SmackDown review with Matthew. And we'll definitely have more positive to talk about at this point in time. But anyway, guys, stay good. Hope you enjoy SmackDown. And I'll be back for SmackDown's review. Bye.